CSX, let's go to monitor. And now here's a little more complicated. I can see that I had my original Genie trade, then a rollover, and then we sold a call when the stock was up. Now it's a little more complicated, isn't it? Let's go and analyze trade, because you can still do it under the Analyze tab. Copy them all. You would change the May 19 to June 16. That's fine. Let's change that. But we also reduced one call right there. So I'm going to go back down to 11 here. And this is no longer the same common divisor. So this number is going to change dramatically. So I can't just simply remove from the original number. This is what we're going to do. Let's bring out an Excel spreadsheet for easy and visual calculation. Okay, so we started here with a Genie trade. Let's go back to the monitor tab, and you see that it cost me $8.68. So I'm going to enter it here. Original trade, how many lots? 6. That's the minimum number there. 6 times 100, 600. And how much money? $8.68 per share. So the actual number, zoom in so you can see more clearly. This is in dollars now. This is in dollars, and this is number of shares. The second trade, that's a credit, is also 600. Okay, that's 6 lots. And my credit, $1.14. So I'm going to make that negative. And again, I multiply those two numbers. And that gives me the credit in dollars. So you can see what the original cost was and how much credit I had in my rollover. All right. And then finally, I did get a credit for selling one call here. And now this time it's 100, not 600. Okay. So the price is 505. Again, this is all in dollars. Let's label it that way. And then multiply it. Remember, because it's a credit, it should be a minus. It reduces my capital on the trade. That's what it does. And then multiply those two numbers. And that's my total credit, another $500. Now I add all those numbers up, and that's my general cost. Now we can't divide this by 600 because by selling these 100 calls, I essentially made it indivisible by 6. So let's go back to the Analyze tab, and here is the new trade. Now you could see that this is not divisible by any particular number. 11 is a prime number, I believe, and so there's no single divisor that would divide any of these numbers. So I'm going to unlock, and that would be my cost of that trade if I were to enter it today. However, I did take some credit, so let's take a look. What was my price? $4,019. I'm going to divide that by 100 because it's not divisible by any number but 1. And that's 40.19. I'm going to enter here 40.19. And that's the consolidated trade. You don't need to keep any of these other trades, but it's essentially the same trade. Okay, so here it is. Focus on the number, the delta, the gamma, theta, vega, and the actual opening profit. All right, and by deselecting them all and selecting the new trade, it should give you the same numbers, 206.51, and I hope you were paying attention. Yeah, everything, all the numbers match. Okay, so the new trade is right there. I can delete the rest, and now I can save them all, export all trades. Now, instead of doing all those calculations, we can go to the account statement and save all this data by just clicking here and say export to file. We're going to export all of this name it CSV, CSX, and please save it as an HTML web page. You save it in that same location, save. And now let's go to the Excel spreadsheet, and now we're going to open that file. Now you get a lot of information here that we don't need. So all you have to do is say Command F to find and type trade history. Find, and that takes you here. And you say account order history. That's not what you want. What you want is the account trade history. So I'm going to select all of this from the execution time all the way to net price. Copy that, and let's open a new sheet and put it there. How about if I increase the magnification or zoom in? And now you can see all the prices, all the quantities, and all the details, let's say. So I'm going to say equals the price times the quantity times 100. That works most of the time, except when you have actual stock. But for options, it works really well. Now I can just drag this, and that will copy the same formula for all of these positions. Okay. Now when we add them all up, it will give us that same number, 4,019. Remember? Right there, it's the same number. So you divide that by 100, and that gives you that same number. So it's a little easier to calculate if you have many transactions on that particular stock. Okay, so next let's go to LRCX. Just click the link and let's go to the monitor account statement again. Okay, here you can open this order history if you wish. Nothing showing, but you remember, change the days again to 100 if you don't have that set up. And that should give us all the information. With the order history, you have all kinds of things. You can tell that I tried different prices until the 25.90 got filled. That's perfectly acceptable. Just play along and try to find your trade. Let's look at the trade history here. There are so many of them. I need to export that to Excel instead of copy all legs to the Analyze tab. So let's click here and say Export to File. And I'm going to say Web Page, okay? And save it to a well-recognized folder and enter the ticker symbol just to make it easy and save that data. So let's go back to the Excel spreadsheet and let's say Open. LRCX is an HTML and open that. I'm simply going to go Command F to the trade history again and find it. And then copy your area of interest here. Copy that, create a new sheet and paste it. After pasting, let me just increase the magnification here so you can see everything. Great. Now you would see, if we go to the Analyze tab again on the LRCX, that we have 5 legs because I rolled up my outstanding long calls, which were 2, so I ended up with 5 legs. What I'm going to do is divide this trade in a 4-legged trade plus this one here. So I need to find the price for all of that and keep this long call separately. And so this is what I'm going to do. Get that out of the way, Command X, and paste it down here because the price of that is $7.30 for 2 calls. And you can keep that separately. In fact, you can just copy that from here. How do you do that? You say Analyze or create closing, and that will be selling order, but you then switch it back and then put the price of $7.30. Look at that. It's in fact is in the money, isn't it? It's profitable. And then Analyze trade. Okay, so if that was all we had, it would be profitable. Let me just hide the position. Look at that. We have a bit of a profit. You can sell it right now for a profit if you wanted to, but that's a different question. Let's go back, and the rest of the trade has all these legs, all these credits and debits. So to figure that out, what each leg contributes, just multiply the price times the quantity, just this number here, 2, and that multiplied by 100 because there are 100 shares per call or put. And then pull it down like that, and now you have all the credits and debits. Remember, in this case, a minus is a credit, a plus is a debit. So we add them all up. And now we see that the trade, except for this part here, cost us, with all the credits and all the debits, only $330. Okay, that's the price for the other 4 legs of the trade. Let's go and say, let's show them all up, select them all except for that call, the 160 call here, which is your outstanding, and say analyze trade. Analyze closing, and that's a double diagonal, right? Except that it's slightly modified. Switch it back to the debit, analyze opposite, because we're selling it and then buying it back, so to speak. And notice that we have 4 September 135 puts. So verify that all the legs are included there in the proper number. This is, if I change that, put is no longer a double diagonal, so it's better to put custom so that I can change each leg individually and then add 2 more. And that is my current trade plus the 160 calls. Okay. Now, if I deselect this, the price changes because that's the price of it now. Keep in mind that there are 2 legs. If I were to buy this back, create duplicate, confirm and send, don't do it just so you see that there are, if we say multiple, you see that there are 2 legs to this trade, 2 portions. Okay, let's call them 2 lots, meaning in essence 2 double diagonals, right? So that means that we have to, that really this number corresponds to 2 of these. So my trade, my cost here of 330 is really for 2 lots. So I'm going to have to divide that number by 200. And that my price for this particular trade is, as of today, is $1.65 with all the credits and debits. And I'm going to put here $1.65. If I say hide, then we end up with $1,353.85. That should correspond to what is here in the monitor tab. So let's go to activity and positions. Let's go to account statement. Close that. We can say delete this to put just 1 day. And you would see here that on LRSK, my profit so far matches $1,350.60. This has been the accounting of complex Genie positions using the Thinkorswim platform. Thank you.